witnesses. Please state your names and occupations for the court. Constable Roly, beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir. And I'm Miss Beatty. Patricia's my name. I'm so proud to say that I'm this young town's hero's wife. What's the story here? Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we're celebrating our first anniversary only the other day. Yeah, he's tired. Very visible. He just wants to sleep. Oh no, it's your husband I was asking about. He seems tired. Oddly surprising. Whilst being in an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world. Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually. Indeed. Apart from the rare days our gallant officers trudge 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses, pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check tomatoes, and reading truth. Responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and exhausting our streetlights. There are a number of items on that list that don't sound like much policing duties at all. Wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet, I'd have collapsed long ago. But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. For the London's Bobby is a man of honor. A lot of honor here when he's just falling asleep at the stand. And a man of slumber. On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking the Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident that occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beatty? That's right, sir. And it's Roly. Isn't it, Roly? Constable Roly beat, sir. Nothing to represent on the streets, sir. This guy has no idea what's going on. He's just too tired. Very good. I'd like to hear your foremost stories now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident. Yes, sir. It was our wedding anniversary, and Roly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, the two silhouettes appeared out of the fog pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. We went straight over, of course, and went to help at the nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man in the dock. Roly and I both saw him as clear as day. I don't buy it. Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say. Your testimony is true. The alternative course of defense that you established in the summation examination will be quashed. It's defeat nil, in fact. Because of that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate match. And on your wedding anniversary too. I know, but I still managed to go for the evening with my man. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed. Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well time to rest this afternoon. What do you mean by that? My learned friend. The witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene. They are testifying under oath that it was without doubt the accused Mr. Soseki Notsume. And one of these witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure. That man's so tired, his wives have to do all the talking. Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense, commence your cross-examination. Yes, sir.
Hold it!
Two silhouettes. Right, they're coming towards us, looking up a Rye Road in the opposite direction. It's a rather plump figure, followed by a scary, thin-looking man. Sounds exactly like the victim is pictured in a print, like Mr. Natsume. Yes, fortunately it does. And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby? Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark. There are streetlights on Briar Road, you see. There's nobody else around at all. Is that right, my darling? What? Yes, that's right. Of course. There's a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight and you can see a fairly long way down the pit. Well, depending on which way you're looking, we don't know how far it goes down here, but as far as here, you can't see a long way down there. It ends. The road ends. But it's probably irrelevant. There's the streetlights as well. I didn't see any other pedestrians. Before sleep takes firm hold, your answer please, Mr. Bean. Are you quite sure of what you just said? Yes, sir. As a copper who spends every day keeping watch on the streets, I swear to it, sir. I assure. As my reputation. Oh, Pat. Oh, Roly. Oh. Still maintain there was no one else around than the victim and the attacker. Sort of seems like there must be how it really happened. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. The other scattered something before.
Hold it!
Scattered? What do you mean by that? Oh, well, couldn't might make it out, but it was at the time. Closer, didn't we, darling? What? Yes, that's right. There's some old books. I see. Old books. Yes, sir. Culprit dropped the temple. All around the victim lay on the pavement. Indeed. As clearly pictured in the photographic print. The wrong Japanese man, that when he did the deed.
Hold it!
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker. But we saw him. It was a man in the dark without questions. The mustache, hunchback, cat-like eyes, topped mouth, stubbed nose, everything. He's given a very vivid description of our client. Given a very vivid description. Any more insults you want to throw in? That's right. He looked down at the poor defenseless woman with his terrifying intense eyes. Suddenly he threw his books on the pavement and ran away. Let's see. May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue. Yes!
Hold it!
Was your husband out when to fetch help? No, I went. May not be a police officer myself, but I am a proud wife of one after all. That's it, right, my darling? What? Ah, yes, that's right. Asked Mrs. Bean to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby is never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene. Very laudable, Mr. Bean. Preserving the crime scene preserving the crime scene is a task of considerable importance. That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box. Forgive my ignorance. Right, exactly, it's the right police box. Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. When a woman was stabbed, it wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box to go to the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it. Render as quickly as I could for help. The Bobby was nothing more potent than a young couple in love, working together. Thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens. Oh, please. You're just making me blush. Isn't he, darling? Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir. Let's move on, shall we? Surely you wouldn't have been able to see the face by the light. Guess strangely, would you? You absolutely could. Us learners have exceptional eyesight. I'll have you know. Right? Light from the street lamps is more than enough. My husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he? Oh, the poor guy. Famous support across the globe. I can't even hit. When it's sick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your arm. It's alright. Take your point. Can you stop shaking your husband about? thick fog makes our eyes very sharp. So I can tell you for sure and certain. That was a little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling? What? Yes. The accused spot. No mistake. Mustache, hunchback, cat-like eyes, top mouth, snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. Question. What's the Seki-san running away from the scene of the crime? That is it. Entire testament. Doesn't really seem to. So Mr. Beast saw what they. Doesn't really seem. So Mr. or Mrs. Beatty saw what they say they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene of Briar Road. Yes, I feel the same. So if that's true, where does that leave us? Members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony. Oh no, what do we do? Causes us over here. What are you trying to say? See, you would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within your testimony. What do you mean, somewhere else? Saying about seeing Mr. Wilson is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. If we could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, we'll discredit them to make the jury doubt if their pair's memory is accurate. Here's all precedence, why not? I'm trying to change up the word to say. I also remember the police meeting. Oh no, sadly not. This job for strapping young men only. Women and children and the elderly cannot even apply. I think you can probably see why the children and elderly can't do the job, can't you? I think Roly ever so handsome in his uniform. Sees you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling? Huh? What? I just finished my beat. And I would head back to the station, but I was actually planning on getting changed there. Is he talking in his sleep? This is creepy. Oh no, Roly. I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't even recognize you when I see you plain clothes. It doesn't seem healthy. Kindly adhere to the point. We were going for a meal after you had finished your beat of the day, yes? That's right, sir. Yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest. Just spending a whole day on my feet. My police in my life, sir. As long as I'm proud owner of this, I'll serve the queen to the end. Warrant card. Warrant card, sir. Prove that I'm a London cop. Noble founding principles. Force written on it. Reminder to all those prisoners belong to duty. Control the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common. Sir. Such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail, without grumble. I know. Thus the applauding and mob boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it. Sir, on one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrate my wedding anniversary. We put a lot being married to Bobby like me. Wanted to show my dear love how much I care. Oh, Pat. Oh, Roly. What a charming couple. Their young love is so all over there. sir. Can I ask you something? Oh, yes, of course. What is it? Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything. We've told you so. It seems like you don't believe our testimonies. Is that right? Well, out with it. Oh. What? No. It's not really that. No. My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what I saw. I remember every last detail. Everything. Like, I know. What about the books the maid burned? Yes! Name every single one! Name them! Do it! Name them for me! Do it! So I can tell you a liar! Did I catch how reliable my testimony is? The picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Emile of Gabois, Canterbury Yearnings. Keep those names in mind. It's going to be very important here in just a moment. That will do. No, it won't do at all. This Japanese flirt has no idea what I'm capable of. Even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Roly will. I really didn't mean to cause offense, but your husband's just now. Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beetle. Might that appease you? Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? Here tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene. Hold it! Yes, we know that were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say. Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand books shop on the day of question. After I'd hit the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good reason. I'm a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Roly. And what was your husband doing at the time? Oh, he's lying face down in a stove, getting some well-deserved rest. Works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling? Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime. Well, Miss B, seeing as you regaled with court details of your powers of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you observed at the scene? I'd be happy to. How are y'all listening? There was the picture of Monastery somebody or something. What's it yearnings? There was a meal for someone. The last one was definitely think about something. She named 4 books. Yes, I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory. Oh well, we're all on the lines up, quite sure. There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines as you put it. Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling? Anyone who sets my Patricia will have to answer to me. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. Put it down. We don't need that here, sir. Roly, put the gun down. Right back to sleep. Terrifying. Yes, she really is. That's her. She says 4 books, and Arlette very clearly indicates there was 3 books bought by our guy.
Objection!
So, you're saying there were 4 books? That's right. I remember all of them. Picture of Montu someone. What's it yearnings? A meal for someone and the singama something. I'm sorry, Miss Beatty. But there is a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours. Oh no. What? A flaw? What flaw? Simply that. The scene is a crime. There were only 3 books, not 4. What? This is a receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books. Your books? Yes, and these of Mr. Natsume's purchases them. As you can see, only 3 books are listed. Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them. There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books. Really? Have a good look at this photographic picture of crime scene. Okay, so my guess is right here we could have presented either this picture or the receipt. Because in the picture there's only 3 books. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there were only 3 books. I just don't believe it. I saw them there. I swear it. I saw them. No, but I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied. So you say it was the defendant you saw. You cannot. You could very well be mistaken. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No!
Objection!
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned princess friend. What? We cannot be denied that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you have no hope of disproving. So you strive to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? Sees right through me. But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To a policeman's wife and her extremely accurate testimony in every respect. Oh? You see, the matter is not up for debate. The scene on Bly Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about this photographic print? It shows only 3 books. Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print. That print? You mean to say? Allow me to present another, the one that shows the victim's hand. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No. Order! There, you see? Look at that! Look! Just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir. The church is always right, sir. Let us study the receipt for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Miss Beetle, titles once again, if you please. Oh yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur someone or other. The picture of Montesquieu Liqueur. What's it here? Canterbury yes. A meal for someone. A meal for Garbois. The court has just heard these witnesses remember the book titles flawlessly. Not flawlessly. Middle powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional. Did you hear that, Roly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, sir. Flawless, sir. Patricia is flawless. Those 3 books on receipt. I mean, there's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown in his photographic print. The Lion's Pride. Sorry, Johnson. It does not seem off. Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, madam. The book belonged to the woman. As the photographic print clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. The victim holding her own book. I wonder, what became of that 4th book? Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by investigating officers of Scotland Yard. I have the book here as evidence. We will submit an aforementioned photographic print report as well. My pleasure, my lord. Prosecution rests. Okay, so I think I have an idea of what's happening here, and it's extremely far-fetched. But you see, the back of this book is burned. Like, something's off with that book. Lion's Pride. Oh, look at this. The book isn't badly burned. Right, you'll never be able to read it in this state. Especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edge of this paper, I think the damage had occurred very recently. Book recently damaged by fire. Why does that seem to raise a flag with me? It does! Here's why. That's it. Because these two had a fire in their place. They had a fire. I have nothing further to add. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entering, yes, but futile. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer wrote to the accused lodging that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection into cross-examination. Futile? Walked right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, marry me, Pat. Oh wait, we are married. So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this nonsense travesty? Or is this decision we have to make all too apparent already? You've heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence. This trial has run its course. Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terribly precarious situation. I know, but we're back by now. Very well just make matters worse. So the book cover, book's back cover being badly burned is crazy and a bunch of flags. Why would he be carrying around a burned book? It doesn't make sense. You're at.
Objection!
I'm not done. No, my learned friend. It's over. The last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate. Well, might be over as far as you're concerned, but I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Fancy. It seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. You insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless homeland indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you'll have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential, and her opinions are invaluable. Mr. Naruhodo! One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance, so the court will hear you. Go ahead, Mrs. Sada, please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. I see. And you believe that this evidence warrants further examination? Mr. Hurta, what do you think? It's just possible that new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. Of course, sure to ask them to explain the crucial piece of evidence. Let's take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as early as possible. Is there any more? Let me see. Who compelled the Lions to afraid I don't know English literature at all. Wait, Lions. Yeah, I've heard something by that name very recently too. So I read this too. Yes, I understand. Thank you, Mrs. Sun. Can't let it go to waste. Okay. I want to take this picture. Defense wishes to present evidence below. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. So the evidence that apparently offers profound insight into this case that had hitherto been overlooked. Yeah, the only evidence that can be overlooked is stuff we've added.
Take that!
Everyone's question is whether we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of time, the court's time. You well know. We haven't discussed the burn. Burn park, the very, very burn park. Yes, I'm afraid, Counsel. I'm afraid, Counsel. Charred book. There's just one possibility here, but you can't quite bring myself to rule it out. It's an outside chance, certainly worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Castle. Explain a theory first. What are you suggesting? What are you suggesting that we can ascertain from the fire damage this sorry tome has suffered? Its owner. Because we know the only fire we know of that's happened recently was at these two's house. There was a fire and it engulfed their bookshelf. We know that for sure. So that is the logical conclusion. It's my lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon, but you don't know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand when she fell to the floor after. It was obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the question of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. Good gracious, how could you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes away. Counsel for the defense. Response. Counsel for the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, who do you claim this order? It's both their house, but actually, probably presenting him would be the correct thing because it's his house.
Take that!
The answer is that book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. The landlords? The landlords? Whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for the jury duty is in this courtroom today. None other than Mrs. Garadeb herself. Oh my goodness, me? I think you're mistaken. I'm not Mrs. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid. I think it would be so much easier if you just dropped this precedence. Alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book before in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know all the books he kept, sir.
Objection!
This is an outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say. You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You burnish her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
I have proof. I have it. Give me a moment to share. This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost the exact same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room of the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. Good Lord! What sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. As they happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place was filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bad thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. This bally furniture started going up with it, but worse of it, lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lord's Pride. My God, that's the very same title that's the subject of this debate. Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is risible. You've also discovered that a book of the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it'd be reasonable to assume it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer it's magically removed itself through the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of fire was marital discord. Without going into detail, it appears that Mrs. Garadeb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mrs. Garadeb even amid the flames. Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to one you love. Can you, Rob? Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. She's raising right now. She's like, she's raising her fingers right here. And all my favorite novels in that case. As soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Why started her own things happening? There it was. There I was. Back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. The crayon books incoming. 10 to the... She threw the books through the window. The man had his back against the window. Had burning books thrown at him? Good gracious! Are you suggesting that the books thrown through a window landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
No. A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very instant. There's no report of the garage window pane being broken. It's quite true. There's also no signs of broken glass in Mr. Graham's house. But it's not conceivable that the window was open. It was not conceivable that the window was open at the time. Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that comes. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. What if they opened it to get the smoke out? The defense postulates this scenario in all seriousness, Counsel. You earnestly claim that the book found at the scene of crime was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrett's wife. I believe it's a possibility, my lord. That's quite enough. Well, I hope that everyone can see who you are now, you little foreign trickster. You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward. Really? Claiming that our little tiffs set up the whole neighborhood alright? Honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake? How could you? It's got nothing to do with this beastly case. Not any of it. All of you done is sullying her family's name. Oh my gosh, why? Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears. That's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable. Too right. Here we go. How long have we sat here, listening to Nimponson spouting his fantasy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with a mustache, and he ran away from the scene too. Do declare you're right. It's true. Yes, what did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Huh? Sorry? What was that? Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Seeks? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then, one must exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait. The mysteries of Force books still hasn't been... If books are your predilected by my learning friend, study them on your own time. What? No forgive the discourtesy this time? In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Thank you for that unambiguous response. Twice now. It's over. Mr. Naruto. Mr. Naruto, don't give up. Mrs. Sato, have you forgotten? Battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting. Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. So you can still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance. My lord. Defense, as to exercise his right to the summation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve. I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to cover the truth. There's no time to be a downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined.